Hello world, Kristen here with Books and Jams, and it's time for a Friday 5. I'm totally stealing this week's Top 5 Wednesday idea because I really enjoyed watching everybody's videos. And the topic this week was 5 authors that you would like to read more from. And I have a ton of authors that I would like to read more from, so I had to think of a way to narrow it down to just come up with 5. So I chose 5 authors who I own more books that I haven't read. So I have 5 authors here that I've read some of their books and really loved them and want to read more. These are not in any particular order. There are just lots of books here, but 5 authors that I'm hoping to read more of. I don't know if I'll read all of them this year. Definitely not all the books that I have in this stack, but hopefully I'll read more from these authors this year. The first one I have here is L.M. Montgomery, who wrote the Anne of Green Gables series. Now, I am rereading the series, but I really only read up to, I think, 4 or 5 the first time I read through them, and there are 8 of them. So I'm really hoping to read through this whole series this year. And I believe L.M. Montgomery also wrote some other books. Emily is the main character of those ones. Emily of New Moon, I think, is one. I'm not sure exactly. But, so the books that I would like to read this year by L.M. Montgomery, the next on my list is Anne of Windy Poplars. This is number 4. Number 5 is Anne's House of Dreams. Number 6 is Anne of Ingleside. 7 is Rainbow Valley. And the 8th is Rilla of Ingleside. Now these go beyond just Anne's journey, I guess. So this also gets into her children as well as the series goes on. So I'm really looking forward to finishing these this year and reading some of them for the first time. So that's author number 1. When I was younger, I used to read a lot more mystery novels, and now that I'm older, just for some reason, they're not my go-to genre, but I do really enjoy them. And one mystery author that I've picked up a lot of lately is Agatha Christie. So around Christmas time, I read Hercule Poirot's Christmas, and at my library book sale last fall, I picked up this gorgeous collection of Agatha Christie books. There are tons more because I think all of her works are in this edition, but they were $2 a piece and I couldn't justify buying all of the ones that were there. So I picked a rainbow of them, and then I've since picked up a couple more that I've seen on our book sale shelf at the library. So I'm not going to read all of these, but you can pause and look at all the names. I mean, I will read all of them eventually, but there's all the names of them. I don't know which one I'll read next, and none of the ones that I've heard around BookTube are in this stack. She's a very prolific writer, and her mysteries are a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to reading more Agatha Christie in the future. Number 3 is an author that I've only read 2 of her works, but every time I see a book from her in a thrift store, I purchase it. So I do have 6 more books by Kristen Hanna here that I have not yet read, but all of them were very cheap from thrift stores. So I'm hoping to read some of these in the future, and I will show you these real quick. I think Kristen Hanna, some people don't really like her writing. It's not over the moon. It's not spectacular writing. It's kind of on the simple side, but I love it. I love her storytelling, and the 2 that I've read so far, Winter Garden and The Nightingale, were fantastic, and I cried a lot in both of them. And there was elements of historical fiction in those 2. I don't know that all of her books have that historical fiction element, but I love her characters from the 2 that I've read, and I think she's a great storyteller. And I've had a couple real-life friends who have read a ton of her works and really love them. So I have here The Things We Do for Love, Distant Shores, which looks like a nice summery beach read. It's kind of short, so that'll probably show up in a TBR this summer. Between Sisters, True Colors, which is also looks like it takes place at a beach, Homefront, and the one that I've heard the most about is Firefly Lane. So I do look forward to reading a lot more Kristen Hanna in my future. Number 4 is Kate Morton. And I just recently read The Secret Garden by Kate Morton at Katie from Life Between Words recommendation. And a couple years ago, I read The Forgotten Garden. And both of these I really enjoyed. So she's also one that when I see her books at used book sales or library sales, I pick them up. So I do have 2 others. And I love that all 4 of the ones that I have are in this edition. So they look very nice on my shelf. So I think The Lake House is her most recent work, and I don't own that one, but I do have The House at Riverton and The Distant Hours. So I'm looking forward to reading more Kate Morton. She writes, there's an element of mystery in her works and a family drama. The two that I've read both involve two different timelines, like kind of a present timeline and goes back into the past as well. So I don't know if these two are similar in that way, but I really enjoyed the two that I've read and am looking forward to reading these. These take a little bit longer. They're not tiny books, but they're very good. And finally is a YA author. I have read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom last year, written by Leigh Bardugo, and I really loved those books and want to read the Grisha trilogy. I don't have all three, but I do have two of them, Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm. Ruin and Rising is the third, and I don't own that one yet. These I received in my Broken the Bookish Secret Santa box that came, so thank you to the Secret Santa who sent these to me. I'm very excited to read these. I haven't yet, but these are going to get picked up when I'm in the mood for a little fantasy world. And I'm sure that they'll be kind of quicker reads. YA typically is quicker read for me, but I am looking forward to reading more Leigh Bardugo. So those are the 5 authors that I'm hoping to read more from in the near future. I would love to hear from you. Who's an author that you've read some of their work already and you own some other ones but you haven't read them yet? I would love to hear who are some of your favorites that you hope to keep reading. Maybe I'll add their names to my list as well. I look forward to talking to you in the next video, and I hope that you're having a great day. Bye!